The president is set to take part in an interfaith prayer service. The administration has also announced it's providing additional resources to help the city prepare for upcoming large-scale events, including Mardi Gras and the Super Bowl. CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca has more.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden traveled to New Orleans nearly a week after the deadly year's attack in the Crescent City. 14 people were killed when the suspect, identified as Samshuddin Jabbar, intentionally rammed a pickup truck into a crowd before he was killed by police. Over the weekend, the FBI released a video showing the Army veteran riding a bicycle through the French Quarter last October and recording video of the scene using his Meta smart glasses. Other clips captured on cameras and released by the FBI appear to show Jabbar planting homemade bombs in coolers throughout Bourbon Street, hours before carrying out the attack.
He didn't use the correct device to set it off. And that is just indicative of
when we see coolers just sitting around,
in light of the tragedy, officials here in New Orleans are beefing up security to protect Mardi Gras revelers as celebrations here begin.
They'll probably
Mardi Gras just started in New Orleans
because everybody wants safety first.
New Orleans mayor has also called on a tactical expert to review the city's safety plans ahead of next month's Super Bowl.
An expert opinion.
I think the Super Bowl need to be moved because of this situation. Because I think it's going to be a copycat thing going on.
But if not, we're not stopping there.
As the city continues to grieve, family and friends said a final goodbye to Tiger Besh.
I feel like
who died in
if I was planning to go to the Super Bowl and I ain't bought my ticket yet, I wouldn't go. I don't think it's safe. That's just me.
Omar Villafranca, CBS News, New Orleans, Louisiana.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden also attended an interfaith service in New Orleans Monday where the president made remarks. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
I know events like this are hard. The shock and pain is still so very raw. My wife Jill and I are here to stand with you, to grieve with you, to pray with you, to let you know you are not alone.
Biden just gave out the
company
freedom.
U.S. Steel and Japanese firm Nippon Steel have filed a joint lawsuit against the Biden administration.
Freedom
Companies
medals.
are suing over President Biden's decision
freedom,
to block a
the
proposed
president's
$15 billion
freedom
merger. The lawsuit claims the administration had no legal basis to stop the deal and did so for political reasons.
Mine in the mail.
In a statement, the White House spokesperson says, quote, a committee of national security and trade experts determined this acquisition would create risk for American national security.
So,
more than 34 million Americans are under winter storm warnings as heavy wind and snow blanket the Midwest through the East Coast. According to FlightAware, more than 2,000 U.S. flights were canceled due to snow today, including dozens at the Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville, Kentucky. As you can see, driving conditions are
I didn't know they had a Muhammad Ali Airport in Kentucky.
As many areas expect
Did y'all know that?
snowfall through Tuesday.
I didn't know that.
This marks the first winter storm in our nation's capital this year. As we've discussed, Congress is still in session. However, the majority of school districts have closed.
Yeah, we snowed in the day 2 of the snow in D.C. I got up, federal government closed, and I look outside. They ain't even plowed my area, so I can't even get out my driveway. I shoveled my driveway, but I can't even get down the street. So it's ice that's underneath for the snow because the second wave hit. Then they talking about it's more snow coming this weekend. So it's crazy. It's crazy, So I gotta use some leave that I got. This is why you don't play games with your leave, because when you really need it, you really need it. So now, I'm gonna use my leave to get my money, and it's gonna be business as usual. You feel me? I ain't playing with you. I ain't mad with you, and I ain't playing with you.
tomorrow can be enjoyed. Without reservations, baby, just an illusion. This is the magic of love. Magic of love. You'll be alright. It seems kind of different. Speeches not the same. When I get this feeling, can't even remember my name. This is the magic of your love. Magic of your love. You're the again. That I ever loved me to you. Yes, I want you to know. Baby, in my heart, I know I love you so. Learn about crypto. Including dozens at the Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville, Kentucky. As you can see, driving conditions are slow and icy in Baltimore and throughout the eastern region, as many areas expect continued snowfall through Tuesday. This marks the first winter storm in our nation's capital this year. As we've discussed, Congress is still in session. However, the majority of school districts have closed. The weather isn't all doom and gloom in Indiana and throughout the country. Youngsters are taking advantage of the opportunity to go sledding and have snowball fights. CBS News national correspondent Noel Bojorquez joins us now from Louisville, Kentucky. Manny, what are the latest conditions where you are?
Well, the snowfall has come to an end here in Louisville, but you can see all that the storm left behind. For perspective, just yesterday, the city here, Louisville, got 9 inches of snow. That is the most snow in a single day in 25 years. And on top of that, today, there was an additional 1 to 3 inches, depending on where you were. The crews that have been out in this have so far done a pretty good job here in the Louisville metro area of keeping the interstates open. That's the salt crews, the salt trucks, and the snow plows, and most of the major arteries within the city. But they're not able to get to those neighborhood and smaller roads. And we saw people trying to dig themselves out of those areas today. But most things have shut down because of this. We're talking about businesses and schools. So most people stayed home. Those who did get on the road, you know, depending on where you were, we did see some wrecks, some cars that had slid off and needed some emergency crews to help them out. But right now, what we are tracking, of course, is the possibility of power outages and now this frigid cold that just will not go away.
Yeah. And what can we expect overnight and Tuesday?
The ice is freezing.
So here, no more snow. there is a chance for more snow on Friday, which is not something that people are looking forward to. But the big story after the snowfall is the fact that these frigid temperatures will remain. I was looking at the forecast. We're not expected to go above freezing really any time at all throughout the rest of the week, with potentially more snowfall, as you talked about, on Friday. And the biggest concern here is that it wasn't just snow, there was ice. And the ice, if it starts to weigh down branches and if they fall on electrical lines, that could cause more power outages. At last check, we looked, there were about 50,000 fluctuating up and down or so in the state of Kentucky, here in the Louisville area. Not as many customers without power as they were fearing, but because we have such a long way to go before all of this starts to melt, that remains a concern.
Oh yeah, we see all those drivers and their wheels just spinning. Not a place you want to be in. All right, well, Horkaz, hope you and your crew can get warm. Thank you so much. The severe winter weather is impacting millions of Americans who are struggling to return home from their holiday travels. Our Chris Van Cleve explains how airlines are working to get everyone moving along.
Here at Chicago O'Hare Airport, it's been a mix of freezing rain and frigid temperatures. That can be real challenging because basically every airplane that's going to take off has to be de-iced first. For United Airlines, which has a hub here at O'Hare, that's about 500 airplanes today that will have to be de-iced. It adds extra time in order to keep the planes moving safely. And while it's freezing rain here across the country, airports are dealing with snow.
Freezing rain.
Are digging out from snow, really from the Midwest all the way into the Northeast. Thousands of delays and cancellations, and conditions on the roads remain treacherous, particularly in the areas where the snow is coming down, the Mid-Atlantic, the D.C. area, Philadelphia, New Jersey. Here at O'Hare, the other thing they got to factor in is just how long people can be out in the conditions here. Temperatures in the mid-20s, as this winter weather is going to impact travel not only today, but as people dig out tomorrow.
Got down to 10 degrees last
expected
night
to move through as the week goes on.
In the DMV.
Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Chicago.
Chris Van Cleve, thank you. For more on those winter weather alerts and the next incoming storm, here's meteorologist Alex Wilson from our partners at the
Got another one coming back.
On the heels of one storm, we've got another one on the way. This is going to be the second half of the new week, and parts of the South looking at wintry weather. In fact, snow for Dallas, for Oklahoma City, for Little Rock, an icy mix for places like San Antonio, northern parts of Louisiana, into Jackson, Mississippi.
San Antonio.
The storm track changing would impact where the wintry weather is. So important to stay with us
snow
as we
down
alter
there.
that track.
So this is a bad snow, y'all.
But look at the snowfall totals right now. This is, again, current forecast, current track. Places like Dallas could see 8+ inches of snow down to San Angelo.
They ain't used to all that.
3 to 5 inches.
They about to die down there.
On the northern side of town. And then temperatures very, very cold midweek. Those temps will act like a refrigerator for, or snow will act like a refrigerator, keeping those temps in the
Don't you know it's wrong to make me suffer, especially for the selfish actions of another man?
A true love is hard to come by, but you say it's knocking at my door. But what you can't seem to understand is just don't wanna be hurt anymore. Oh no. I know love has hurt you badly, baby, but this is brand new day. A brand new day. But if you try my love, baby.